The Washington Wizards pulled off a massive trade which landed them none other than Anthony Davis. Pairing up Trae Young with AD and the young Wizards core definitely has a lot of potential in my opinion. So I've decided in today's video I'm rebuilding the new look Washington Wizards and hopefully winning them a championship. Anthony Davis is out with an injury until the month of March, but honestly that is absolutely perfect for us, and that is because we have our own first round pick in the 2026 NBA draft. And we can possibly draft ourselves a player like Cameron Boozer, Darren Peterson, or AJ DeBonsa. At the time of this recording, we are currently the number 14 seed with 13 wins and 36 losses, so even if Anthony Davis returns in March, there's no way we're going to be making the playoffs. So what I'm going to do for this first season is lose as many games as we possibly can and end up with a lottery pick. It looks like Trae Young is open to sign a contract extension with our team, so I'm going to go ahead and extend him for the next 3 seasons, paying him about $40 million annually. And it looks like he does end up happily accepting. At the end of this season, Nikola Jokic goes on to win MVP, Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year, Hami Haka 6th Man, Victor Wembanyama Defensive Player, Quetta Most Improved, Cade Cunningham Clutch Player, Mark Coach of the Year, and Nathan Executive of the Year. Here are the words. We probably won't have anyone here. Well, never mind, we do get ourselves Alex Sarr on all defensive first team. But none of that mattered because we completely tanked and ended up this season being the number 15 seed, which means hopefully we end up with a top 3 pick. And before I simulate past these playoffs, I would really appreciate it if y'all could drop a thumbs up on this video and subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button. Now let's go ahead and simulate past the playoffs and see who goes on to win the championship. It will be the New York Knicks taking on the defending champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the New York Knicks go on to sweep OKC with Jalen Brunson winning Finals MVP. And now it's about to be time for the draft lottery. Let's go ahead and reject everything here and let's see where we end up in the draft. Hopefully it's a top 3 pick. That would be ideal. We are projected with the second best odds. I wonder where we're going to end up. And we fall all the way down to 5. That truly sucks. I did want to end up with a top 3 pick to either draft Cam Boozer or AJ DeBonsa, but it looks like that will not be the case. It looks like Jason Kidd currently is a free agent, so I'm going to try and bring him in to be our brand new head coach. We are about to start contending for championships, so might as well bring someone with a lot of experience. I'm going to go ahead and offer him as much money as that we can. I'm going to go ahead and fire these dudes here so we clear up some more money. And now we can offer him about $10.7 million. Hopefully he accepts. And sadly, Jason Kidd did reject our offer, so I went ahead and signed Michael Stauffer to be the brand new head coach. He is a computer generated dude, so I'm probably only going to keep him around for this season, and then we'll try bringing in someone new next offseason. But as of right now, Michael Stauffer is the new head coach. So in the mock drafts, it does say we're either going to end up with Koa Pete or Caleb Wilson. If it's not going to be Cameron Boozer, I would like to get ourselves Chris Knack Jr. But in one of the mock drafts, he is projected to go number 4 to the Utah Jazz. Let's see where we end up and who ends up on our team. The first overall pick the Indiana Pacers have, and they go ahead and draft Cameron Boozer. The Kings have the second overall pick, they take AJ DeBonsa. The third overall pick is to the Mavericks, and they take Darren Peterson to pair up with Cooper Flag. Hopefully the Jazz do not take the player we want to draft, and thank God they go ahead and draft Koa Pete, which means we will be able to draft ourselves Chris Knack Jr. And here are all the players still left on the draft board. With a 5th overall pick, I am going to go ahead and take Chris Knack Jr., who has a ceiling of Joel Embiid, all NBA. He's a 6'10" big man, 19 years old with a 7'5" wingspan. Holy. Let's go ahead and draft him to be the backup center on our team. For team player options, I am going to go ahead and pick up the team option on Alex Sarr, Keyshawn George, Bilal Koulibaly, Bub Carrington, and Cam Whitmore, and it does look like D'Angelo Russell accepts his player option, but I probably will be trading him away for a first round pick or a second rounder. Qualifying offers, we don't need to re-sign anyone here, which is absolutely perfect for us. Let's go to bird rights, and it looks like Justin Champagnie is the only player that's currently a free agent from our team, but honestly I don't even want to bring him back. In free agency, we do have some money to play with, and I think I'm going to go ahead and offer Tari Eason a contract. We have about $15 million that we could offer, 14.3. I'm going to go ahead and offer Tari Eason a $12 million contract, 3 years. Let's see what he says. It looks like he will be accepting on a 3-year, $37 million contract, and the Houston Rockets do not match it. Tari Eason is currently listed at the shooting guard position, but I know if we change that to small forward, he does end up going to an 82 overall, and now he could possibly be the starting small forward or backup small forward behind Keyshawn George. And now for this offseason, there is 2 trades I would like to pull off. One of the trades will be sending away D'Angelo Russell. There's no way he's worth 2 first-round picks, so I'm going to take one of these out and take 1 first-round pick from the Detroit Pistons, which they accept. Cam Whitmore is another player we're not going to be needing around on this team since we did go ahead and sign Tari Eason, so I'm going to be sending away Cam Whitmore back to the Houston Rockets for Clint Capella, and we also get the Phoenix Suns 2029 first round pick. Here we are at the start of this season with a new and upgraded 9-man rotation. Our younger core has ended up developing this offseason, going up in overall by a ton. Our starting lineup will include Trae Young, Bilal Koulibaly, Keyshawn George, Alex Sarr, and Anthony Davis, and then off the bench we have Tari Eason, Trey Johnson, Bob Carrington, and Chris Knack Jr. The CPU does want us to start Tari Eason over Keyshawn George, but I would like to see how George does with this starting lineup. Let's go ahead and simulate the first week of this season and see how we do. We do defeat both teams. The New York Knicks we defeated and the OKC Thunder, scoring 138 against the Knicks, and Anthony Davis dropped 31 points and 13 rebounds. 27 from Sarr, 20 from Eason, and Trae Young had 9 points but 14 assists with 0 turnovers. Against the OKC Thunder, Alex Sarr led the way with 26. Trae Young had 19 and 8, Anthony Davis only had 14. In the second week of this season, we do have 4 games. Let's see how many out of the 4 we can go on to win. We do end up winning 3 out of the 4 games. We scored 137 points here against the Sacramento Kings, where AD dropped 32, Trae Young had a 23-point double-double, and Alex Sarr with 20. And if I did not mention, we are going to be running Anthony Davis at the center position, and I've changed Alex Sarr to be the brand new starting power forward. I just feel like it makes a little more sense for Alex Sarr to be the power forward since he is a lot smaller than AD. And let's see how Trae and AD have been doing so far. So Trae Young is averaging 19 points per game throughout the first 2 weeks and 9 assists, and then we have Anthony Davis who's averaging 27.5 points per game, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 1 steal on 55% from the field. As of right now, we are rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency balanced under Michael Stauffer. I'm now going to start simulating here until the trade deadline, and if there's any trades to be made, of course, I'll make sure to stop and show you all. This season, we have made it to the NBA Cup Finals, and we will be taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and let's see who's going to go on to win here. Timberwolves will have home court advantage on their side, and so far the Timberwolves do have the lead. They are up by 11, 8 minutes remaining. Can we come back from this? And sadly, we do fall short. AD played amazing, dropping 27 and 18, but sadly that was not enough. And Anthony Edwards goes on to win NBA Cup MVP. We are stopped here at the trade deadline, and I won't be pulling off any trades, and that's because we've been playing absolutely amazing. We're currently the number 1 seed with 41 wins and only 9 losses, so I do believe we are championship contenders, and let's go to the playoffs and see if we can win it all. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win MVP, Darren Peterson Rookie of the Year, Scoot Henderson 6th Man, Wemby also wins the DPOY, Zachary Riche Most Improved, Luka Doncic Clutch Player, Michael Stauffer Coach of the Year, and we also end up winning Executive of the Year. Let's see if we have any All-NBA selections. We do get ourselves Anthony Davis on All-NBA second team, and we also get Trae Young on All-NBA third team. Let's go. And for defensive team, we do get AD on All Defensive first team. We also get Alex Sarr on All Defensive second team. So we had a bunch of awards from our players. This season, we ended up being the number 1 seed, winning a total of 65 games and losing only 17. It's safe to say the Anthony Davis trade has been working out here in this rebuild. Before we start simulating the playoffs, let's take a look at the player stats for the regular season. Leading scorer on our team was Anthony Davis, averaging 24 points per game, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and 1 steal, shooting 57% from the field. Then we had Trae Young, who was averaging 24 points and 10 assists on 50, 40, 89 shooting splits, 17 from Sarr, 13 from George, 13 from Johnson, and a few more players in double-digit scoring. And now it's time for the playoffs. In the first round, we are going to be taking on the Indiana Pacers, who have themselves Tyrese Haliburton, Aaron Nesmith, Benedict Mathurin, Pascal Siakam, and Isaiah Jackson. Funny enough, at the time of me recording this video, I did find out that Zubac was traded to the Indiana Pacers, which is a pretty interesting trade. I actually like that a lot for the Indiana Pacers, especially once Haliburton's returned from his injury. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us in AD with 31 points and 14 rebounds, Trae Young with a 29-point double-double, Alex Sarr with a 22-point double-double. Let's go. Game number 2 will also go to us. Trae Young with 27 points and 17 assists, 22 from George, and AD had 14 points and 14 assists as well as 5 steals and 1 block. Game 3 we also end up winning. Let's go. AD dropping 48 points, only missing 4 field goals attempted. Trae Young had 34 points and 12 assists, Alex Sarr with 17. And are we going to go on to sweep the Indiana Pacers? Yes, we will. Alex Sarr led the way here, dropping 30 points, Trae Young with a 24-point double-double, and AD with a 25-point double-double. And now we've made it to the next round of the playoffs, where we will be taking on the Toronto Raptors. So far, Trae Young is averaging 28.5 points per game and 14 assists. That's what I'm talking about. And AD is averaging 30 points per game with 12 rebounds. Toronto Raptors still have themselves Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Brendan Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us. AD with 27, 22, and 15 from Trae Young. Game number 2, we do sadly end up losing here in overtime. Trae and AD played amazing, but sadly we do still fall short. Game 3 on the other hand does go to us, and once again it went to an overtime, but we won this time by 12 points. 33 from Sarr, who was our leading scorer. And now we're up 3-1. Let's go. 109-105. AD leading the way with 26 points and 13 rebounds. Are we going to, gentlemen, sweep the Toronto Raptors? And yes, we will. AD in Game 5 dropping 37 points, Alex Sarr with 23, 24 from Eason, and 22 points, 19 assists from Trae Young with 0 turnovers is insane. And now we've made it to the conference finals, where we're either going to be taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Detroit Pistons, and it will be the Detroit Pistons. They have themselves Cade Cunningham, Melton, Asar Thompson, Stewart, and Jalen Duren. So far here in the playoffs, Anthony Davis is averaging 28.5 points per game, 11 rebounds, and Trae Young is averaging 25 points and 13.5 assists per game. Let's see if we can defeat the Detroit Pistons to make it to the NBA Finals. Game number 1 will go to us. Trae Young with 32 points, 26 from Anthony Davis. Game 2 does go to the Detroit Pistons, sadly. They win here by 1 point. Anthony Davis had 30 and 11, Trae Young 18-point double-double. Game 3 does go to us though. We win this one by 1 point. 21 and 18 from AD, 17 and 12 from Trae. Game number 4 does go to the Pistons, and now they tie up the series. I do believe I'm going to come up with a defensive coach game plan. I do not want Trae Young guarding Cade Cunningham. I'll rather change that to Tari Eason guarding Cade Cunningham. I have now come up with a defensive coach game plan. Hopefully that helps us win this next game so we can go up 3-2. We will have home court advantage on our side, and so far we do have the lead, but can we keep it is the question. They are pushing back here. Now it's a pretty close game. Fourth quarter, we're up by 4 points, and it's a back and forth battle. They're taking the lead, we're taking the lead, 4 minutes remaining. Let's see if we can run away with it, and it looks like we are starting to run away with it, and we do end up winning 118-112, where Anthony Davis dropped 30 points and Keyshawn George with 27. All we now gotta do is win one more game, and then we'll be going to the NBA Finals. The Pistons have home court advantage here, and so far we do have the lead, but can we keep it? And we do end up falling short here. They do outscore us in the fourth quarter, winning 153 to 147. 33 from Trey, 23 from AD, and 22 from Trey Johnson. It's a winner go home situation, time for game 7. Whichever team wins will be advancing to the NBA Finals, and thankfully we do have home court advantage on our side. And so far we do have the lead, but not by much. Let's see if we can run away with it, and it looks like we do end up winning this game 118 to 100, where AD led the way, dropping 25 points and 19 from Alex Sarr. How was our defense? Cade Cunningham still played amazing, but we did hold them to 100 points. Victor Wembanyama goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP, and Anthony Davis Eastern Conference Finals MVP, averaging 24, 9, and 3. And in Game 7, I did change up our starting lineup. Tari Eason has been struggling from the three-point line. He's shooting 30%, so for that reason, I put Koulibaly back as our starting shooting guard. And now it's time for the NBA Finals. We're going to be taking on the San Antonio Spurs, who have themselves De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, and Victor Wembanyama. They do also have Dylan Harper coming off of their bench. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us. Trae Young with a 32-point double-double, 24 from Sarr, and 22 from Anthony Davis. Game number 2 will also go to us. Trae Young dropping 41 points, 27 and 11 from AD. Game 3, okay, we're up 3-0, winning this game 145 to 107. That's what I'm talking about. AD is dominating Wemby here in the NBA Finals, dropping 41 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. Koulibaly with 26 and Trae Young with a 20-point double-double. All we gotta do now is win one more game, and then we'll have won the Washington Wizards, AD and Trae Young a championship. The Spurs do have home court advantage for Game 4. Let's see what happens here, and so far they have the lead by quite a bit, and sadly they do end up defeating us here. We almost came back, but not close enough. Trae had 29, 23 from Sarr, and 20 from George. Let's see if we can win it all here in Game 5, where we do have home court advantage on our side. And so far we do have the lead, and it is a pretty close game now. We're only up by 5 minutes, 4 remaining. Let's see if we can win it all in front of our hometown. 1 minute remaining, we are up by 6 points, and it looks like we do go on to win the NBA championship, with Anthony Davis leading the way, dropping 29 points, 28 from Alex Sarr, and 25 from Trae Young. That is what I'm talking about, and just like that, we've won the Washington Wizards a championship, with Anthony Davis winning Finals MVP, averaging 25 points, 11 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and 2 steals, 2 blocks per game. I will be running it back one more season to see if we're able to go and win a back-to-back championship, but before that, let's take a look at the player stats for the playoffs. We played a total of 21 games, and the leading scorer in those 21 games was none other than Anthony Davis, averaging 26 points per game, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and 1 steal. And then we had Trae Young averaging 25 points, 12 assists on 50, 40, 86 shooting splits, and 20 from Alex Sarr. Our team played absolutely amazing here in the playoffs. In the NBA Finals, we played a total of 5 games, and the leading scorer was not Anthony Davis. It was actually Trae Young, who was averaging nearly 30 points per game and 10 assists per game. 25 and 11 from Anthony Davis, 21 from Alex Sarr, and a few more double-digit scorers. We do have ourselves a 30th overall pick in the 2027 NBA Draft. Let's go ahead and see who we're going to draft. We don't really need anyone since we already have our core fully set. We're just waiting for our players to get even better each off season. So there will still be some more progression from our younger players, but I'm going to go ahead and draft someone anyways. Let's go ahead and simulate to our pick. 30th overall pick. We do have a few C overall players here. And I'm going to go ahead and take this dude right here, Robert Wright III. It's a 3-point hunter, so I just went ahead and drafted him. And this rookie is only a 72 overall, so he probably will not be a part of our rotation. Again, we do have basically our whole 9-man rotation locked down, unless any player walks this offseason, which hopefully does not happen. In team player options, thankfully, Anthony Davis does accept his player option. We're going to pick up the team option on Alex Sarr, George, Johnson, Bob Carrington, and Will Riley. We're gonna let Jaden Hardy walk, Xavier Booker walk, and this dude walk as well. I do think we need to re-sign, yeah we do, so we need to re-sign Bilal Koulibaly this offseason in free agency. We should have bird rights on Bilal Koulibaly, so hopefully that should not be a problem, and yes we do, but he wants $33 million for averaging 12 points per game, shooting 33% from the three-point line. I honestly don't know if I want to give him this big of a contract, $35 million for averaging 11 points per game. And as you guys can see right here, MPJ is the highest overall player that we can afford, and he only wants $8 million, whereas Bilal Koulibaly wants $33 million. Josh Hart wants $4 million, and he can basically do everything Koulibaly can do. What I'm going to be doing is signing Bilal Koulibaly, but then we're going to be trading him away to a different team and bring in someone that can actually shoot the three ball, because this past season Bilal Koulibaly was struggling, shooting only 33%. And for Bilal Koulibaly, I would like in return a starting shooting guard that's a good perimeter defender and can also hit the three ball. Andrew Nembhard could be the perfect starting shooting guard we need here on our team beside Trae Young, so I'm going to be pulling off this trade here with the Pacers where we send them Koulibaly and a first round pick for Nembhard, and we also get Obi Toppin. And here we are at the start of this season. A lot of our younger players did go up in overall, as you guys can see here. Bob Carrington's at 81 overall. Chris Knack Jr. I believe jumped up the most. Now he's at 80 overall, which means every player in our rotation is an 80 overall or higher. I do believe we can go on to win a back-to-back championship. Let's simulate the first few games of the season and see how we do. First game we won here against the Miami Heat, scoring 137 points. AD had 24, 24 from Johnson, and 21 from Sarr. Let's also go ahead and simulate the next week where we're going to have 4 games and see how many we can win out of the 4. So we do lose the first game here to the New York Knicks sadly, but we do end up scoring 140 points here against the Miami Heat, where AD dropped 43 points and 10 rebounds, Trae Young with 24 points, 22 assists, and only 1 turnover. Alex Sarr with 21, 11, and 4, as well as 3 blocks. We also scored 138 here against the Hornets. In this game, Trae Young led the way with a 26-point double-double, 26 and 10 from AD, 25 and 12 from Sarr. So far, Alex Sarr has been averaging 3.5 blocks per game. If he can keep this up, I see him winning Defensive Player of the Year. AD is averaging 27 and 12, as well as 2.5 blocks. We have Trae Young averaging 23 points per game and 12 assists. It does look like we're rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency balanced under Michael Stauffer. It should be about 4.5 stars, but I guess we'll take it. I'm now going to start simulating here probably until the end of this season, but if there's any trades to be made, I'll stop at the trade deadline and show you all. I am stopped here at the trade deadline, and once again, we are the number 1 seed with 35 wins and 17 losses, but that was not always the case. Start out this season, we were struggling big time. As you guys can see, we lost a lot of games around November, but ever since then, we have started to settle down and started winning more games, so I'm going to continue running with this core and see you guys at the end of this season. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama wins MVP, Cameron Williams Rookie of the Year, Josh Giddey 6-Man, Wemby DPOY, Rob Dillingham Most Improved, Jokic Clutch Player, Michael Stauffer, our head coach, wins Coach of the Year, and the Spurs go on to win Executive of the Year. Let's see if we have any All-NBA selections. We do get ourselves Anthony Davis on All-NBA second team once again. What about Trae Young? No Trae Young this time around, okay. We also get Alex Sarr on all defensive first team. I was hoping for him to win Defensive Player of the Year, but I mean when Wemby's around, it's pretty hard to do so. We also get Anthony Davis on all defensive second team. We ended this season being the number 1 seed, winning a total of 60 games and losing only 22. And before we start simulating the playoffs, I want to show you guys something that you will not believe. The Lakers have themselves both Luka Doncic and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm not sure how this happened, but somehow both of these players have ended up on the Lakers. I hope we don't have to take on the Lakers if we make it to the NBA Finals. Hopefully someone else eliminates them beforehand. But let's take a look at the player stats for the regular season, and the leading scorer on our team was Anthony Davis, averaging 25 points per game, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and 1 steal. Then we had Trae Young averaging 21 points, 10 assists on 50% from the field, 45% from the three-point line. Alex Sarr had himself an amazing season as well, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2.5 blocks, and 1 steal. We still had a bunch more players in double-digit scoring. And now in the first round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the Miami Heat, and they have themselves Kasparis, I don't know how to pronounce bro's last name, whatever that says, Tyler Hero, Hami Hawkins Jr., Nikola Jovic, and Bam Adebayo, and this is their bench unit. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to the Miami Heat. They defeat us here by 2 points. Game 2 does end up going to us though, Alex Sarr with 27 leading the way. Game 3 will also go to us, 80 this time leading the way, dropping 29 and 15 as well as 5 steals. Trae Young with 20 assists and 18 points. Let's go. We also win game 4 and we gentlemen sweep the Miami Heat, making it to the second round of the playoffs. So far, Trae is averaging 23 points and 10 assists. Let's see how AD is doing. He's averaging 22 points and 12 rebounds. And thankfully, the Lakers were eliminated by the Dallas Mavericks. Okay, so I thought this team would definitely be winning a championship, but thankfully, the Dallas Mavericks took care of them. And in the second round of the playoffs, we're now taking on the Toronto Raptors. They still have Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Ingram, Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl. Now let's see if we're also able to defeat this team to go to the conference finals. Game 1 will go to us. AD with a 30-point double-double, Trae Young with a 19-point double-double. Game 2 we also end up winning. We win game 3 and we sweep the Toronto Raptors, making it to the conference finals. Trae is averaging 22 and 10, Alex Sarr is averaging 20 and 9, AD is averaging 24 and 12. And now in the conference finals, we will be taking on the Indiana Pacers. I'm pretty sure we defeated this team last year in the conference finals as well. They still have themselves Tyrese Halliburton, Aaron Nesmith, Benedict Mathurin, Cameron Boozer, and Pascal Siakam at the center position. And now they have Bilal Koulibaly coming off of their bench because of the trade we made with them. He's now gone up to 86 overall. And all of a sudden, bro's learned how to hit the three-pointer once he's not on our team. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us. AD with 40 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Sarr with 25 and 10. Trae Young with 17 and 10. Game number 2 does end up going to the Pacers. They defeat us here by 3 points sadly. Game 3 also goes to the Pacers. Perhaps I should have came up with a defensive coach game plan for Tyrese Halliburton, because right now we have Trae Young guarding him, which obviously isn't the smartest move, and that's why he dropped 37 points and 14 assists. So let me come up with a defensive coach game plan and then we'll advance to game 4. I've now come up with a defensive coach game plan. Let's see if Andrew Nembhard could defeat his previous team. We'll jump into Simcast for these next few games where the Pacers will have home court advantage, and so far we do have the lead by quite a bit, and it looks like the defensive coach game plan worked right away. That's what I love about the defensive coach game plan. 97 points we held them to. 25 and 15 from Sarr, 20 and 12 from Anthony Davis, and exactly what we wanted to happen. Tyrese Halliburton was held to 3 of 11 shooting, so that means Andrew Nembhard did perfect defending him. I did make Andrew Nembhard be the main defender on Tyrese Halliburton, and that worked out perfectly. Let's see if we're also able to win game 5. We will have home court advantage for this game, and yeah, so far we are blowing them out and we win 158-107. Once again, our defense was amazing. Trae Young with 29, 28 from Sarr, and 25 from AD. All we now gotta do is win one more game and we'll be going to the NBA Finals. The Pacers have home court advantage here. Let's see what happens. So far it's a pretty close battle, back and forth, but they do end up winning here by 10 points. And now it's going to a game 7. It looks like the Mavericks have already made the NBA Finals. Hopefully we're able to defeat the Pacers here in game 7. Let's jump to Simcast. We do have home court advantage on our side thankfully, and let's see if that's going to help us out. So far the Pacers have the lead. They are up here, but can we come back? We are pushing back here in the 4th quarter and we take the lead. Back and forth battle. Let's start to run away with it. Tie game, 3 remaining, and we are up. Okay, so now it's tied 1-11, 111, 143 remaining. And it looks like we are starting to run away with it. We are up and we win this game 121-116. AD with 28 and 10, as well as 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks, 20 from Trae Young, and 20 from Trae Johnson. I honestly thought we might have lost this game, but thankfully, in the second half, we came back to win. Cooper Flag goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP. Anthony Davis, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, averaging 27.5 points per game, 12 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 steals per game. Now in the NBA Finals, we are taking on the Dallas Mavericks. They have themselves Kyrie Irving, Darren Peterson. Holy, I totally forgot they drafted Darren Peterson. He's now up to an 88 overall, averaging 20 points per game. They obviously have Cooper Flag, who's now a 94 overall. It looks like they signed Michael Porter Jr. in free agency, and the same for DeAndre Ayton. They are a pretty stacked team. Almost every player on their roster is an 80 overall or higher. And don't forget, they did eliminate the LA Lakers, who have Luka and Giannis. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us. Let's go. AD with 28, 21 from Young, and 20 from Sarr. Game number 2 does end up going to the Mavericks. They win here by 1 single point. Holy. Game 3 also goes to the Dallas Mavericks. Now I'm going to come up with a defensive coach game plan before we advance. I've now come up with a defensive coach game plan. I also made Anthony Davis our starting power forward. I'm trying to pull a little slick move here. Michael Porter Jr., there's no way he'll be able to guard Anthony Davis, whereas DeAndre Ayton actually has a chance. So let's see if this works out in our favor. We'll jump into simcast where the Mavericks will have home court advantage, and so far we are winning here, blowing them out, winning this game by 2 points. Whoa, we almost lost in the fourth quarter. They outscored us by 21 points. At first, we were defeating them by 20 points, but as you guys can see, they almost came back, but thankfully we still won by 2 points. Alex Sarr had 28 points, 14 rebounds, AD with 21 and 12. The series is now tied at 2-2 apiece. Hopefully we're also able to win this next game, where we will have home court advantage on our side. We do start off the first half really strong, and we do end up winning 125-98. Trae Young had 22 and 12, George with 19, Sarr with 16, Anthony Davis with 15 points and 10 rebounds. How was our defense? We did hold MPJ to 5-12 shooting, and Kyrie Irving to 3 of 13 shooting. And all we gotta do now is win one more game, and then we'll have won a back-to-back championship. So far, it does look like Anthony Davis, the power forward position, has been working out in our favor. Hopefully this also works for this game, and so far the Mavericks do have the lead. They are up by 3, 150 remaining. Let's slow this down and see what happens. 40 seconds remaining, they're up by 3 points, and they still are up by 3. Can we hit a clutch shot? And sadly, they do defeat us here by 4 points. Sarr had 23, AD with 23, but that was not enough. The series is tied at 3-3 apiece. We're going to game 7 here in the NBA Finals, and thankfully we do have home court advantage on our side. And so far in the first half, okay, so I thought we had the lead, but clearly the Mavericks have the lead. Can we come back from this is the question. We do tie it up here in the third quarter. We are kind of starting to run away with it. We're up by 8 points, 4 minutes remaining. Let's slow this down and see what happens. Looks like we will be winning unless they come back somehow, which they will not. We win ourselves a back-to-back championship. We win game 7, 120-109, where Alex Sarr led the way with a 28-point double-double, Trae Young with a 21-point double-double, and Anthony Davis with a 21-point double-double. Let's see who goes on to win Finals MVP, and just like that, we have won the Washington Wizards a back-to-back championship. This time it's Alex Sarr winning Finals MVP, averaging 23 points per game, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, and 1 steal, shooting 58% from the field. Very well deserved. And now, before I end out this video, let's take a look at the player stats for the playoffs, where we played a total of 23 games. The leading scorer was Anthony Davis, averaging 25 points and 12 rebounds per game. Then we had Alex Sarr, who was averaging 22 points and 10 rebounds, 21 and 10 from Trae Young, 15 from Keyshawn George. In the NBA Finals, we played a total of 7 games. The leading scorer was Anthony Davis, averaging 24 points and 12 rebounds, as well as 2 blocks and almost 3 steals per game. Alexar, the finals MVP, was averaging 23 and 11. Then we had Trae Young averaging 19 points and 10 assists. And that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and also subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 videos. That really does support out the channel a ton. And click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.